Hello. Welcome to the February patron stream. It's already at the end of February. We're 2 months into this year. It's flying by. My goodness. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody is doing well. Let's see. Let's see what's going on out in the chat. We've got Fauci Cinema here. I'm sorry, we got Horror Orman here. How you doing tonight, sir? We've got Andy in the chat. What's up, Andy? There's Fauci Cinema. How you doing tonight, sir? Got Smudge here. What's going on tonight, Smudge? We've got Glib Glob here, being glib and being a glob. Stop being such a yes man. Gosh, what a yes man he is. Got Dave here in the chat. Bog Zombie. We got Geriatric Geek. How you doing tonight, man? How's everything over in your neck of the woods? Davey Boy Music is here. Witch Hunter. Cable Channel 11. How you doing tonight, Jess? There's Scratch Burno. Got Mike here. What's up, Mike? We've got Bog. Well, sorry, we already shouted you out. Double shout out to Bog Zombie. Anthony, what's up, Anthony? Fenway Park Memories. I'm guessing you're from Boston. CJM is here. It's American Muscle Car's birthday today. The big 3-5. Well, happy birthday, man. Hope you've had a good one. See, we got Johnny here. What's going on, Johnny? Big Smells. San Andreas today. Andy Shoemake. Astro Juicy. How you doing tonight, sir? Hope everybody's doing good. Distorted Visions. What's up? How you doing? Eerie Spirit. How you doing tonight? Street Trash Girl 666. My goodness. Dylan, Brian, Megavania, Al Palmer. What's up? All right, cool. Well, I'm going to bring on tonight's panel, and we're going to get the ball rolling talking about some topics and whatnot. As of right now, though, got some interesting topics on the docket. So here we go. Yes. Glenn Morgan coming on for a Bloodstream on the 4th of March at 8 p.m. That's going to be a very fun Bloodstream. I'm looking forward to that one. Had a very good conversation with him last week, and I think he's going to be a lot of fun. And nothing's off limits. Nothing is off limits. So we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. So, all right. Joining me tonight, I've got Swaggy G. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, Piz? Hello, everybody.
How you doing tonight?
Great, man. Doing good. Glad to be here.
Good. I'm glad. Is that some new equipment you got there? You got you a new mic and a new headset, or is that if I just not paid attention to that before?
I've had it for a few months now, but I
Okay.
did step up my game a little bit.
Okay, stepping up your game. I like that.
I'm learning all about like moving this around and which side does it go best with, and you got the chords, and I'm trying to figure all that junk out. But
there's a lot of management. The chord management. There's placement. I mean, you gotta, your lighting, your key. You gotta have key lighting. It makes you look good. So, and I see you've come dressed. I mean, that shirt is very snazzy. Very snazzy. I appreciate you dressing up for the stream. I really do.
yes. And
Wow.
see, how did you decide what side you face in the camera? Is that your best side?
Well, both my sides are my best side. So, but what I typically no, I mean, this was just because I got my TV there. Like if I was over on this side, you'd just see like a couch. Well, I don't know. There's some cool stuff on this side. It was just easier to do it this way. I had more room for the camera, and and I don't know, things just seemed to fit, and so that's just how I like to do it. Occasionally, I've tried to mix things up with streaming in different locations, or videos in different locations. But I don't know. I'm just comfortable right here. So.
Because I've noticed other people, Slasher Home Video, Flesh Room Features, they look Dream Emulator. They go straight towards the screen. You're tilted a little bit. Obviously, you're looking at your monitor or whatever. But I was just kind of curious. Why did you make that decision?
Oh, okay. Well, I used to actually, because I had the little webcam right on top of my monitor. But I moved it because I don't know. I think it just looks more regal when you're at an angle. You just look more. It's like a, I don't know. It just looks better than if I was just staring at you the whole time, like, or get like real close to it, be like, so tonight we're going to be talking about
That's how
the
you should
American
do it.
Psycho remake. Just the whole stream like this. Hi. Maybe, I don't know, maybe one day. More kingly. I agree, Eric. Yeah, more kingly, very regal. Yes, very, very. Actually, you know what we could do? Hold on. We do have somebody backstage, and I'm sure they're not happy with all these shenanigans. But let's see. How about this here? Hold on. Hi. Welcome to the patron stream. All right. Enough of this tomfoolery.
Get right up in the grill.
People are here for. Hold on. Let's see how far I can get this thing up. Oh wow. Okay. Then we can go. Well, we can go way back. Okay. Just too much. It's too much. But there you go. There you go. But always a pleasure to have you here.
Thanks for doing the stream.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. And again, I really appreciate you dressing for the occasion. I really do.
You got it.
Right on. Also joining me tonight, we've got. You just mentioned his name. Say the devil's name, and he shall appear. Dream Emulator. How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm well. How are you guys?
Doing very good. Doing very good. So, how did you decide your setup, Dream Emulator?
Well, I do face directly at the camera, but you can see I'm way back here, and that's because I didn't brush my teeth today. So, and I don't brush my teeth before I record because it keeps me grounded. So,
good move.
That's part of my secret.
I can appreciate you wanting to remain grounded, but brush your damn teeth.
Well, different tastes.
You don't want those things falling out. You don't want those things falling out.
I can get veneers.
Oh no, no. Those big chiclet teeth. No. Those don't look right. Those don't look right. Thanks
for having me.
It's always a pleasure to have you here, man. How's everything been going with you?
Good. Plugging away at the YouTube thing and working and not leaving my house. So,
okay. Doesn't sound bad.
No,
doesn't sound bad at all.
Plenty of time.
Yeah.
To do nothing.
Yeah, doesn't sound bad at all. So yeah, and you mentioned your YouTube channel. You've started doing some streams on your channel as well, and on your Twitch channel. So you're multi-streaming, and you're producing videos. So you're you're putting in the work.
Yep. I buried my social life, and this is who I am now.
Who needs a social life? They're overrated.
Yeah.
So social lives cost money, and you have to go out. And,
That's right.
But
it's been a lot of fun.
Who can afford that in this economy?
In this economy, not me.
No,
I got too many Blu-rays to buy.
Oh yes, yes. Oh, we've got Dan in the chat tonight. He can't join us tonight, but he's in the chat hanging out. Yeah, I got a lot of Blu-rays to buy. Yeah. We do have one other person in the green room. I don't know if they're here. Are you there in the green room? Hello? All right, we'll pull him out. He may not be ready when he turns the camera back on, and we don't need any of that. But it's good to see you so much. It's good to see you tonight, Dream Emulator. Good to see you
so much. Good to see you too.
There you go. So much good to see. Oh, here he is. He's back. Jonathan, how you doing?
So much good to see you. Good much so. Thank Piz.
Yes.
Thank you. Welcome.
Yes.
How are you doing tonight, sir?
Doing well. How about you guys?
Doing pretty good. Can't complain. Just hanging out, shooting the bull.
Heel in, buddy.
Yeah. I like the hats.
Thank you.
Very styling.
It's a Delta 8 company.
Oh, okay. They make ibuprofen products, right?
Yes, all ibuprofen, natural, holistic.
Okay, good. That's all. Listen.
Exclusively tested on animals.
Oh,
good.
Well,
cute ones.
I don't. I'm okay with animal testing as long as it's on ugly animals.
Yeah.
Not cute ones. Not like bunnies and kitties, but ugly animals. I'm fine with.
Mostly baby ones too.
Yeah. So, well, how have you gentlemen been? Have you seen any good movies lately? Bad movies? Let's talk about Swaggy. I know you were really hyping up Madam Web. You said it's the best movie you've seen in years. Go ahead and tell us about it.
I have about zero interest in seeing that. I mean, but obviously everybody's paying attention to the reviews. It seems like it's really a mess. But unfortunately, I have not seen that one.
Has anybody is anybody in the chat gone out to see Madam Web? I'm
Pretty sure
guessing
that's
none of you.
corporal punishment in some states.
If,
Get sentenced to a 7:30 screening. Sorry.
if you lost a bet and you had to go watch it, let us know in the comments.
I think the last Marvel movie I saw was the second Doctor Strange.
Okay.
And that was,
Sam
Sam
Raimi.
Raimi. Yeah, directed
Sam
that. And
Raimi.
some,
Evil Dead callback.
yeah, there was a few little Easter eggs, whatever you want to call it, in there. So,
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. So somebody has so Pugs from Dan's Flesh Wound Features show saw Madam Web, and he even hated it, and he's very forgiving.
Stuckman liked it, didn't he? Isn't that what everybody's pissed about?
Well, we'll get into
Stuckman
that.
said- yeah.
We'll get into that shortly. Has anybody is there anything even good out?
No, dude. I have Movie Pass and I couldn't find anything to like see that I didn't want to pay. Like I didn't have to pay for it. It wasn't even worth it.
Well, you didn't want to see anything for free.
Yeah, I didn't. Well, it's not free. You know what I mean? But still,
Well, yeah.
basically free. You know, like pulling it up now.
Yeah, it's that
Yeah.
dry time of year. I don't think isn't there like a big would-be blockbuster coming out very soon though?
I believe
Is it-
so.
We get Dune,
Dune
in
2,
the beginning of
yeah, that's
June,
coming
or
out.
March.
Oh.
Sorry.
Dune 2, that's right. Yeah, Dune 2 will be popping soon. That's coming out this week. Okay. Dune 2 got some fans. I've not seen the first Dune. I love
Really?
that director though. No. I love that
Wow.
director. But I've not seen the first Dune.
Well, it was back in theaters for a bit, but I think it might only be IMAX. But
Okay, so this Dune or Cronenberg's Dune?
Who?
asking me?
You mean Lynch?
You mean Lynch?
Oh, Lynch. Yeah, what Cronenberg? Could you imagine Cronenberg's Dune?
I'm like, dude, what do you? That sounds awesome.
The
That's pretty
sandworm
awesome.
just comes out of a person. and fucking-
Yes, exactly. Yes, that would be awesome. Okay, Lynch's Dune. Not a fan of Lynch's Dune?
Oh, I love Lynch's Dune. I really do. But it's not everybody's can of worms.
No, it's not. Does
I remember-
does the one guy ride the sandworm in the new movies or the new movie?
In the new one, supposedly he will, yeah, but
Okay.
not in the first one.
Yeah, not in
Spoiler
part
alert.
1. He has it.
You got to wait for that. They're not just going to give you that one in the first.
Well, I believe the teaser was him riding the worm, which is I didn't want to see. I want to wait for the movie to see that, but I think that was the teaser.
You said worm, and I just saw Scotty Too Hottie go by in my mind.
That was cool at one time. That a few months.
The
That was
worm?
cool.
Oh yeah. How many times y'all smack your face on the ground trying to do that?
Mm,
Never tried it.
too
Never
many.
tried it. Yeah, I didn't. I knew it was going to end badly, so I didn't even give it a shot. So I'm guessing. What about something old or a new old movie? Has anybody seen anything? A new old movie?
Well,
I'll throw-
finally.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I did finally see Dark Glasses.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
I know
What'd
it's
you think of
a
it?
couple of years old, but and then over the weekend I watched Mosquito from the mid-90s.
Oh, God, that's such a good
Mhm.
movie.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
and I bought the Blu-ray, and they obviously have like a little special about the making of it, and that was made by people that loved like horror movies, like that creature feature kind of stuff.
yeah. Listen, Mosquito is so freaking good with Gunnar Hansen, giant mosquitoes, just sucking people dry, awesome effects, low budget B movie cheesiness, just a great time, a great time.
Yeah, there was even a line that whenever Gunnar Hansen grabs the chainsaw, he says, "I haven't handled one of these babies in 20 years."
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I mean, you knew at some point Gunnar Hansen was going to pick up a chain, go
Oh
ham
yeah,
on giant mosquitoes with a chainsaw. You knew
they
that
were
was
like,
going to happen.
"This is the moment. We need a good line," and that was what they came up with.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I don't know if anybody's seen Impulse with William Shatner,
No, only a couple scenes, the meme scenes.
but I watched this the other day. I'm going to have a review out maybe tomorrow. But it's William. This is forget about Star Trek. This is top tier William Shatner right here, top tier. So
I've never even heard of that movie. I got to
Yeah.
look that up.
I just know that one scene where he's yelling at that woman. You know,
yeah,
with the dog food or whatever.
Yeah. The lady with the balloons,
that
yeah.
enough. Yeah, that's enough to make me want to watch it, but I still haven't seen it.
There's so many. He's so whack in that movie, and he just gets more and more deranged as it goes until by the end he's on another planet. He's on another planet. It's good stuff. It's fun stuff. But yeah, I'll have my full review of it out soon. So
Yeah,
but I
this
guess
synopsis of it looks pretty cool.
yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Well, do you guys want to just go ahead and dive into this whole Chris Stuckman stuff since we're
It's popping off in the chat right now.
it's popping off in the chat? I know
Somebody's got to explain it to me. I don't watch Chris
Stuckman. So here's the Cliff's Notes version. And we were actually talking about him on the last patron stream. His name came up because he's just directed his first movie. And he raised a lot of money. I think it was
it's like over $1 million.
Yeah. So I mean, I think everybody knows who Chris Stuckman is. He's been on YouTube for many years. Very, very popular critic. Probably I would say, if not, I mean, way up there. Easily top 5, maybe top 2, top 3. I don't know. The only other, I mean, him and Jeremy Johns, and that's real. I mean, just really, popular. And clearly, because I mean, he fan funded over $1 million for his movie. That's a lot of money. So the whole controversy is he did a review of Madam Web that was a non-review. He basically said, I'm not going to review it because he only wants to talk about positive things on his channel now. He's a critic who doesn't want to critique anymore. And some people are saying, well, he's basically, it's boiled down to he doesn't want to bite the hand that's feeding him. Now he's concerned about biting the hand that may feed him in the future because he's got this movie. He wants to get it out there. And he just wants to focus on positivity going.
Well, it sounds like he's just half-ass in both things. He needs to just whole ass one. Go be a filmmaker if that's what you're doing, and you can't say anything bad or you're going to get in trouble, or give your honest opinions on films on YouTube. If you think that's going to interfere, you got to pick one.
Yeah, that's what he's transitioning. It's like, hey, I've been a critic for, I guess you want to call him a critic, 10 years. I'm now trying to make my own movie. So I want to get away from that and just really celebrate or the positivity in movies, or, just talk about the movies that I really enjoyed, so which he gave a warning, like he's kind of laid that out. He's kind of transitioning away from that.
Yeah. I was never I've seen some of his videos, but I was never like a big watcher of his stuff. But from what I hear, it just kind of, and I'm, I don't know enough to really speak on it like too much, but from what I'm hearing, it just kind of sounds like a cop out, and like, I don't know, like you're saying, like pick what you're gonna do. I know it's a transition period and that's got to be tough, but at the same time, it's like, it doesn't seem like he's being genuine,
I also may have alluded that I give a fuck too, and I don't. So I want to apologize if I made that.
Oh yeah, no, I also really don't.
If that
care.
came across and I give any fucks what Chris Stuckman does. So yeah, don't take it too hard.
Well, I mean, the bottom line is, I mean, he can do whatever he wants with his channel.
Yeah, I
Sure.
I
don't
mean,
care.
it's his channel. He can do whatever he wants with it.
Mhm.
The controversy also, and this is something that's kind of been a thing for a while, and the whole Stuckman thing really brought it to the surface of how movie criticism is dead because nobody wants to be negative anymore. Nobody
Yeah,
wants
I mean,
to hurt anybody's feelings.
Mhm.
So that's brought that whole thing to this, because that was sort of a topic for a while and it went away. Now this has brought it back to the surface. Is criticism dead because we're just afraid to hurt people's feelings?
do you guys have anyone that like you watch that's like, if this person says that this is good, we shared tastes similar enough where it's like it's an automatic. He says it's good, I'm going.
Oh sure, yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
But I think when you get to that level too, you know, you're trying to please so many people, and I think that's what he's trying to do. And it's like
That's what
you
I'm saying.
can't
Like
do
you,
that, you know.
and you can't have your foot half in and half out, right? Like
Right.
if you're gonna just if you want to be, you just want to be judged on your merit alone, just go make films.
hmm
You know, if you want to do unbiased criticism, do unbiased criticism.
hmm
You
And I
can't
mean,
be both. You can't have a foot in both sides. Like
right,
you're gonna
and
get.
he seems like a
you're gonna get
competent
trapped up.
guy, but I don't think he's going to be making Evil Dead or like Blair Witch. You know what I mean? I'm sure it's going to be a fine movie. But I don't think it's going to be. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think it's going to be blow anything out of the water. So it's like, you know, I mean, I don't know who. I don't know what's he trying to please. Who's he trying to please?
And I think and like you can criticize without being negative. I mean, like I think I think the big mistake he made was he made this big long video basically saying, I don't want to review this movie because it's horrible, but I don't want to say it. I don't want to outright say it's horrible. It would have been better if he just didn't do a video at all.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a lot of movies that I watch that like the best movies to review are either the ones that are really good and you're enthusiastic about it and you want to run out and tell everybody how great it was, or the really bad ones that are like really entertaining.
Oh, absolutely.
Bad.
Yeah.
The ones that are just kind of in the middle, boring, there's just no passion, like those are really difficult, at least for me to review, because there's just not much to talk about, really. Kind of, yeah, like Exorcist Believer was a difficult one because it was just so uninspired and passionless and boring and lazy, and like that just you know, I don't know how you make a fun, you know, I don't know how you make that into an entertaining review.
Yeah,
but
and it's
but you. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, I was just gonna say, I'm sure it's like you wouldn't have reviewed that if it didn't have The Exorcist on it, probably. Right?
No,
Because there's nothing in there to talk about. So how do you pull anything out of that?
Yeah.
You know?
And you can critique and say, you know, I didn't like this because of these reasons. And anybody, I mean, that just opens up a dialogue. I may have liked the movie because of those reasons, or, you know, it's not, you can criticize. And it's not, you know, I mean, if you just go, well, that movie's dumb, it sucks. People who made it are stupid. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's not a great review. But you can critique and do it in a constructive, not mean kind of way. And I think if he just done that review, it'd been fine. It'd been
totally
perfectly fine. Or just don't do anything at all.
Right.
It would have been much better.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Piz or one of y'all, but I watched the video and he was more or less talking about the studio interference into the movie.
Mm-hmm.
That was what I got from it. You know, that was his message. I felt like he wasn't really. I guess he was just saying the movie turned out the way it was because the studio stepped in and they did this or that, or they didn't allow the director to do this or that. You know, That was
Mhm.
my
Well,
take of it, you know.
Yeah.
But you're right. I just totally avoid doing the video, you know. But
We've
I mean,
we've
I
got
like
somebody
him.
else.
I don't have any problems. I mean,
Yeah, no, I don't
care
watch every
less. Yeah,
I don't
still
watch I don't watch every video of his, but occasionally I'll watch something. I think he does really good reviews, and he's a good critic because he says I like the movie because of this, I dislike the movie because of this. That's what a critic is supposed to do,
Mhm.
and that's if that hurts anybody's feelings, then I mean they're going to have their feelings hurt anyway. We've got somebody in the green room. I'm going to bring him on here. His name is Chris, but it's not Stuckman.
Chris, not
Stay
Stuckman.
You're muted, my friend.
In my opinion,
guys?
it's a superior Chris.
Sure.
I wouldn't go
They're
that
built
far.
different.
But
Well, you're definitely taller, so there's more of this Chris. This is more
how
bang for your
tall?
buck.
Yeah.
How tall is Chris Stuckman?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I don't think he's your height. So.
He's
Yeah.
he's definitely not. He's definitely not your height.
Probably
Well,
got a
look up
couple
his
inches
bio.
on him.
But
So,
that video has gotten tons of reviews. I mean, views.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's opened up, and I mean there's been a lot of criticism of him, but really to me I think it's opened up this interesting dialogue about the state of modern criticism. And I'm all for I would much rather, like I said, I would much rather focus. I'd much rather review like a really good movie or a really bad movie than just a bad movie or just a boring movie. You know, so I mean I get it. He wants to focus on the positive now, but it seems like he's going to need to completely rebrand. And didn't he had a whole series at one point about hilariously bad movies. Is he gonna take those videos down now?
Well, I don't want to see someone just talk about the positive stuff. Also, I want a criticism. You know, it's like I don't want someone to just shit on a movie either. But you know, I want someone who's going to give me both sides of the coin. Personally,
Yeah.
Well, I can
And
I can relate to like the way I see it happening. If you want to like go at him, you're like, oh, he made a movie, so now he's like, you know, flipping the script so that nobody shits on him. But what also could have happened is that he made a movie, he experienced everything, and he realized that like, man, making a movie's hard, and no matter how hard
Yeah.
you try, some things don't just turn out right, and people are gonna shit on it, and I don't want to do that to people anymore.
that's
So,
quite possible. And he may have articulated that in some of his videos, but I don't know because I don't.
And I
Really...
completely understand that, but that's why I said do one or the other. Because
Yeah.
do one or the other genuinely, wholeheartedly.
well, he can do whatever he wants.
Right.
Yeah,
Channel.
yeah, he can. I'm
Mhm,
just saying, like if you want to quell the criticisms, I just don't
mean,
really give a shit.
I don't think he owes anybody anything. If audiences are bitching, then they'll get over it, and they can quit watching his videos. But he'll probably still make them.
Misinformation. My God, dude, you are going to bat for him.
Well, yeah, because I hate that.
No,
whenever
not
I, like,
you, not you. Somebody in the comments, they were spreading misinformation. A little serious on talking about Chris Stuckman. It wasn't Russian collusion.
But no, yeah, that was exactly what I said to start this. It's his channel; he can do whatever he wants with it. And that's I think his fans, his true fans, are going to stick with him whatever he does. Again, he fan funded over $1 million. He's got a really serious and sincere fan base around him. So I mean, he's going to be fine. And here's the thing. This whole conversation is not intended to bash Chris Stuckman. That's not it at all.
No.
My focus here is on just film criticism in general. Can we still criticize films going forward? Is this going to become a thing again where, people were afraid to fairly criticize the Disney Marvel movies not long ago, remember? Like you couldn't find a negative critic review. Fan reviews, were a different thing. So I don't I don't know. I think it's an interesting topic. But see, somebody like Glibglob is just he's here to defend when I don't think there's
nobody's that mad at him over here.
yeah
Nobody's
like
mad.
like Glibglob is very. Is this Chris Stuckman?
That's
Are
what
you
it
Chris
looks
Stuckman?
like.
Glibglob? I mean, if
Nobody
just,
offended you. I think you're just nobody offended any of us. I just think you're way too invested in this to not have a last name Stuckman.
did you invest $500,000 into that movie? Is that where he got half
It's
that
fine.
funding?
I used to watch him. I just don't anymore. I think he should
But
keep going and do what he wants to do.
yeah. I mean, God bless him. He made a movie. That's a huge thing. And like Chris said,
Crowdfunded movie too, like you mentioned.
yeah, and he's got a lot of pressure on him too. Raising, we talked about that in the last patron stream. Like, he's got an enormous amount of pressure on him. If that movie's not good and he raised that much money, you know what I mean? That's a lot of pressure.
And
I'm
even
sure
if
he's
it
feeling.
is, even if it is good, there are going to be people coming out of the woodworks to
Oh,
shit
for
on
sure.
it
For
Oh,
sure.
of course.
anyway. So he's got
Yeah.
the cards stacked against him anyway.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's an interesting conversation. No one's bashing anybody. I think it just opens up a dialogue about modern film criticism and about,
Well,
I mean, ultimately you can do whatever you want with your channel. That's the whole thing too. That's the point of it as well.
Mhm.
we talked about this like a couple months ago, like not about Chris Stuckman, but about just negativity on like movie channels.
Mhm.
I don't remember how it came up, but we talked about it for a minute. Like if you like that, or if you rather watch somebody positive, I'd rather watch somebody positive.
And there
And
are so many negative channels out there. Everything. I mean, I don't want to name names, but there's a lot of channels out there and whole groups of communities of different channels that just bash everything. They hate everything. And that to me is just as fake as somebody who loves everything.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? There's an in between. So
I'd seen a lot of people bring up that they hope that he's a better filmmaker than James Rolfe, and I think that's in the bag. I think you have to try pretty hard to make a worse movie than the AVGN movie.
I've actually never seen that.
Oh, it's bad.
Let's go to the chat. I want to see what the chat has to say about this situation.
Probably not much.
If Stuckman gives his true unfiltered thoughts on Madam Web, I will tattoo #1 Stuck fan on my ass in Nashville next month.
Make it happen.
That's a challenge.
Make it happen.
Glibglob says, "You're the ones invested in it. I'm just here to give my opinion. Isn't that what the comment section is for?" Sure. Let's see. Nico says, I have long avoided fan reviews like the plague and take critic reviews with a grain of salt. Stuckman can do whatever he wants. What's the controversy?
yeah, I was kind of confused when I started hearing about it. It's like, who cares, man? Like,
Right. I had to like look on Reddit, and that's probably not the best place to get my information anyway.
We got Cody in the chat. He can't make it tonight. Oh, plumbing issues. Oh man,
Ooh,
that's not good.
no.
That's not good. That is not good.
No.
Let's see. Ghost says he started from nowhere like any other YouTuber. As far as I know, I'm rooting for him and his success. If his movie sucks, I can't wait to say so.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Smudge says making movies and finding out how hard it is makes you more forgiving of bad movies. I can tell you. He spent years bashing movies. Go watch those if you want bad reviews. Let's see. I haven't watched Stuckman. I lost interest in him years ago. I hope he will be a better filmmaker than James Rolfe. Okay, there's that one. Reggie says, honestly, I don't care what critics say. I judge a movie for myself. If it looks interesting, I'll give it a shot. There you go. Mike says, I find his reviews boring, bland, and too short. Okay. All right. Does anybody want to say anything else in closing about this whole situation?
No, I wish him the best. I don't really have a strong opinion one way or the other.
It's the hypocrisy. He's suddenly denouncing exactly what helped him amass such a big following.
I disagree with that. People are allowed to grow and change course. It's not fair to stick them in that corner and say if he stops doing it, he's sold out or something,
Nico says he loves everything topped with pepperoni, as do I. Cliff says, I've never heard of this guy till yesterday. Joseph says, I backed Shelby Oaks on Kickstarter and I continue to watch his videos. I do wish that he would have just done an honest review of Madam Web like he normally does. Exactly. All right. So let's talk about hate. Let's talk about things we hate. Let's get really negative and toxic here for a second. let's get really toxic here. Yeah, let's get toxic. Actually, let's get toxic here. They're remaking American Psycho. Can you believe that?
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah, I can believe it.
Well, I can't believe it. Yes, but it's not.
Anybody interested?
It's not right. It's not right. That's a movie. That's a holy. And you're not going to recapture what made that movie so great.
Are they changing aspects of it to?
It's a quote unquote modern American Psycho.
So he's going to be an internet guy or something.
He'll be
going to be a Bitcoin bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Bitcoin bro.
He's gonna be a Redditor.
He can't return any more videotapes.
No. There will be no return.
He could be an influencer too, a social media
quite possible. Yeah,
that's I mean, honestly, you're probably right on. He's going to be like the Instagram model guy by day, and then
what's that guy?
Killing hookers by
night. Jake Paul, whichever one.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, both of them pretty much. Yeah. And that sounds awful. That sounds horrible. I don't want to see that movie.
Have they decided to do it, or are they just talking about it? I guess if they're talking about it, they're on that way.
They're talking about it. Yeah, it's been announced that Lionsgate is developing a modern take on American Psycho.
Would they switch him to be a woman? Talk to that.
They tried that in the sequel. Mm-hmm. There was a sequel to American Psycho.
William Shatner.
Wasn't they tack shit on just to make that work though?
They did. Yeah. It didn't start as an American Psycho sequel, but they were like, let's just throw American Psycho on it. And they filmed a scene. They filmed an extra scene where Mila Kunis is
as a 10-year-old girl, kills Patrick Bateman.
Exactly.
Yeah. Got the best of him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how it became American Psycho 2. Yeah. And that one, oh my God. Yeah, that one was bad. But yeah, so I mean, possibly that wouldn't surprise me if they went that route. I mean, toxic masculinity. There you go. She'd have a lot of victims.
Yeah, well, this seems like too good of an opportunity not to hit on toxic masculinity to not make it a dude.
Right.
You're right.
Wow, that movie is 23 years old.
Why was he psychotic? Testosterone.
Too much test. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it. So let's do some fantasy casting here. They're gonna make American Psycho, and let's keep it to a male. That Patrick Bateman's gonna be a male. And that's not going to be Patricia Bateman. It's still good. We're going to keep it male. Who would be a good modern Patrick Bateman?
Get Jake Paul. Get the man himself.
I think it's important the dude has black hair.
You definitely gotta be good looking. Gotta be fit.
Yeah, you got to be gorgeous. You can't just be good looking.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say Zac Efron before the face thing.
Or Ryan Gosling.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
maybe.
Yeah.
That's a possibility.
I do
I
like
can see
Zac
that.
Efron. Jared Leto, maybe, or is he might be a little too old.
Jared Leto was in American Psycho.
Yeah,
that's
he gets
true.
killed, yeah.
He was.
Yeah, he's Paul Allen.
Yeah, he was. Jared
So,
Leto's
yeah.
in his 50s.
You know, Zombie said Harry Styles. Or I'm sorry, Anthony Oliver said Harry Styles. I could actually probably see him doing that.
Yeah.
Chris Evans. Somebody said Chris Evans. That's pretty good too. If you really
I think you want to hit somebody in their early 30s, late 20s, though.
I could see Pattinson doing it. I think
Pattinson.
he'd probably be good. You know
Austin
who else?
Butler?
Sure.
You know who else?
Ooh.
Bill Skarsgård. Just throw. I mean, Bill Skarsgård's in
Yeah.
everything. Just throw him in that too.
Nah, he's got those wonky eyes, man. He's got them frog eyes on the side of his goddamn head. It doesn't look.
God.
That's like
Hold on. I think we have the perfect casting choice in the green room right now.
Here we go.
How's it going? Would you accept the role?
I can't take the pay cut.
Oh, wow. How you doing, Lauren?
Hey, how are you? Been a while.
Good. How you doing, man? It has been a while. How you doing?
I'm I was playing with
It's
my
been a
knife
while.
it has been. I was playing with my knife just a little bit ago. I managed to really cut the shit out of myself. That's pretty much my day.
I hurt myself today.
So you've got this. You've got that part down. You'd be like, sitting at your desk as Bateman, just cutting yourself.
I think I'm supposed to be cutting other people, but I might be doing
Let's
a bad
imagine
job at that.
Lauren with a full head of hair, fucking greased back, man.
There was a time, dude. There was a time.
No, Gordon Gecko, but suit with the fucking white collar
that
and
I
the
can't do.
cufflinks with the pinstripes.
Original Penguin as far as I dress up. That's it. That's the line.
So
Talking
who would you
American Psycho?
who would you cast, Lauren?
Well, it's funny because actually when I saw Batman Begins back in the day, I think it was Batman Begins. No, maybe that's later. I don't remember. I'd seen Christian Bale in something, and I'd actually picked him for my vision of who Patrick Bateman would be. But I don't have something like that now. That's for sure. You need someone who looks like they could be an actor that's well known or up and coming that looks like they could legitimately be a serial killer on the side. And I think that I'm not sure we have that.
Not like handsome, attractive serial killers.
He has to be bland. The whole thing is you need a bland. Like, have you read the novel?
Adam Driver's too ugly.
Oh, I've read it several times.
Yeah, you need
I've read
someone
it
who.
too.
The whole point of him is that he's disarmingly normal for that class of people. So you need to.
He's
like,
just sorry.
Yeah, you just need someone that is a little bit ordinary for the Hollywood thing, or can dress down to be ordinary enough, and also kind of be that wax mannequin of a human being. I think Christian Bale was actually pretty freaking perfect.
Yeah.
Well,
Actually, I think that movie is kind of friggin' perfect as an adaptation of that novel because the stuff they cut, you have to cut.
You have to cut, yeah.
It just kind of hit me when you were saying that. Do y'all remember Spree? That movie with the kid from Stranger Things?
Yeah, where he's the Uber driver who's trying to get famous. I like that movie.
That's kind of that if you really think about it, because that's what I got from that. He was so average that
He was
just didn't
disarming.
fit in that world, and like,
Well, they describe Bateman in the, or people call him in the book several times, like, "Oh, you're the boy next door. You're the boy next door." So, like, very unassuming, but at night he's going out and hacking up people.
And that's kind of why he's so frustrated and why he's having this internal world of killing people, right? Is because he wants to be the special guy, and he just really can't quite get there. He's made a lot of money, but he's still kind of just this bland everyman.
Yeah, he's just so unfulfilled.
Are we all?
I think the oh goodness, what's his name? We just mentioned him a few minutes ago. He was in the Iron Claw. He was the lead in Iron Claw. What was his name?
Zac Efron.
Zac Efron.
Zac Efron. Yeah, he
One
could
point,
do it.
Yeah.
He could definitely pull it off. I think, even now with that chiseled out of granite
Big
chin
face.
he's got.
That other guy
I think
could too. That the dude that is from Shameless, he could probably do it too.
Jeremy Allen White. I don't see him doing that one, man. I just don't see
could.
that subtle darkness.
I mean,
Don't you-
I could
don't you-
for sure.
Don't you think there's
I like
another
him, though.
problem too though? It's like you have this movie that was really successful commercially, really successful with its intended audience, although most walked in thought they were going to see a disaster. And so it's a movie that beat all odds and has kind of been. I don't meet people who really dislike American Psycho. Some people don't get it, but like I don't meet people who dislike that movie. You're remaking it. You have to do something different, right? Because if going head to head, it's going to be it's a Pet Cemetery remake problem, right? Doesn't matter if you get everything right; it's still going to be a shadow of the original. So you kind of have to go real bold.
Mhm.
Kind of the problem, like when they remade Psycho. I mean, the experiment of doing a shot-for-shot remake is whatever. I don't see the point, but I get what they think they were doing. But they had to pick someone like not a Vince Vaughn because that is the Anthony Perkins of today. They should have gone in a completely different direction for Norman Bates, and that's kind of where maybe the smart move would be here is to go with something that's completely different than the book, simply because we already have that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, they're not. I seriously doubt they'll do that. They'll just hire some really handsome guy, and he'll be the Instagram influencer, and he'll be on the beach with the beautiful women, and then at night he'll go and do his thing, and you know what I mean. That's probably. I don't see them taking too many risks with it, especially like I said, it's a modern American Psycho, so.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's like, just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. I would love to hear what Bret Easton Ellis thinks of it. A modern American Psycho. Yeah.
I wonder would he be involved with it at all? Like, obviously it's his book, but is he for this? Is he like pushing for it?
I don't think he's made a statement yet. But I don't know. Let him do it. A modern. Let him write it. You know what I mean?
thought they announced he was going to direct his first movie.
Yeah. That was announced. So
They're
he's all over the place.
They're like not. It's
no,
definitely not
they're-
going to be this one.
No. So, hey, Elijah Wood pulled off that he pulled off the Maniac remake.
I was
Crazy
thinking that
motherfucker.
might be.
He pulled that off. So, Michael
He's a
Cera.
great actor.
Michael Cera. Hell yeah.
But that would be a whole different. You know what? If it goes that route, I'm interested.
Yes, that's a good
Now I gotta
idea.
know.
That's a good idea. That's okay. That's it. Yes, the Shards. I think that's what the movie is. Or no, but that's the book. That's the last book you wrote. The movie that he did, or the movie he's going to direct, is something completely different. I think. I've got the
y'all
Shards.
read
I've
the
just not read it
Shards?
yet. I've got it. I've just not read it yet.
The weekend.
Did you like it?
It had some moments I thought were pretty good. He's so detailed, and there's a lot of sexual relations that I was a little unprepared for.
That happened to me when I was reading Glamorama that he wrote. It's like a crazy freaking supermodel terrorist book, and then all of a sudden, bam, there's like this extremely graphic sex scene in it. It's like, well, I wasn't ready for that. Which is funny because like he's so detailed now. When he started, he was very minimalist, and now he's the complete opposite of minimal. But yes, and Glamorama is very dense. Yes, very dense. Yes. So yeah, American Psycho remake, not cool, not into it. Lauren, do you want to? We were talking about the Chris Stuckman thing. Are you aware of what's going on there? Do you want to throw your 2 cents into the ring?
Only in the Vegas sense. I haven't really. I don't know. My take on YouTube is very different than people probably think it is. I watch like Techmoan, which is about like 30-year-old technology and electronics. I watch stuff about dinosaurs that no longer exist that people think still exist. I'm really like I'm pretty divorced from outside our community, like the film criticism, because I don't really care what these people are going to say about fucking Marvel. I don't. I have my feelings. They're not very interesting, so I don't want to share them. And I don't really care what anyone else thinks about like that level of film criticism. But I mean, the idea that we take film critics seriously at all is kind of disturbing to me. To me, like when I grew up, and I think you're the same. I'm a little bit older, but we kind of share the same. I don't know, points of reference here. Is that when I used to watch Siskel and Ebert at the movies, I knew I wasn't watching people who I should give really any real stake in. I like watching a show about movies, but their opinions were shit all the time. They were just divorced, and they weren't even reviewing movies. They were kind of reviewing their own moral stance on the movie rather than the film itself. So they wouldn't even give a film a chance if morally they found a problem with it. And I think he's kind of in the same boat. People are like, well, he's selling out. He's doing this. He's not reviewing things because he don't want to hurt them commercially. Isn't that kind of the same thing? It's just you replace morality with like shelling. Isn't it the same thing? I don't know. I've never taken any like one of the reasons I don't do reviews on my channel is because who the fuck cares what I think? I'll talk shit about movies I don't like. Yeah, no problem. Right, Jonathan? But and I'll to the ends of the earth keep repeating myself about films that need more exposure. But that's kind of different than reviewing everything that comes out and pretending that your viewpoint frigging matters. So it's like a lot of you guys love a lot of shit that I don't. And I think sometimes like people get bent about that. I'm not telling you what to think or what to love. Not at all. It's just I think the free flowing of conversation is what's valuable. And I don't think any of those YouTubers are fucking doing that. They don't enable conversation. They just build consensus in this little echo chamber side. So if this dude is just off the map for whatever reason, whatever, he'll be replaced by something else. Doesn't matter. That was a really long answer. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Yeah, look, I used to love watching Siskel and Ebert too. There was another interview team. He was like Jeffrey Lyons and somebody, and they were very moral too. Like they hated everything horror, and if it was horror, they just destroyed it. Same thing with Leonard Maltin. IMDb back in the day had a little section where, like, if you wanted, there was a Leonard Maltin review for just about every movie. And like if I was researching a horror movie and I saw that it had a Maltin review, I'd always read that review. And the worse the review was, like, oh, this is going to be a good one, because like he hated every 80s slasher, and like the better the slasher was, the more he hated it. He like 0 stars, half a star, the slasher, you know what I mean? It's like so they got rid of the Leonard Maltin section though. But yeah, that was funny.
Do you really think though you could ever really have your opinion even shaped by one of these people about what you're going to see? I think everyone goes to see what they find like, I don't know, have some gravity towards, right? The stuff that they already love. So like, if it's a genre that I don't give a shit about, there's no chance I'm going to go see it anyway. So I just don't think film criticism, I think, might be really dead, and it's just kind of vestigial. It's sticking around just because we feel like it should stick around.
I think what it is now is people find channels that echo their sentiment, so that whenever a movie comes out, they watch the review and they go, "Yep, I agree with this person." And it's not really about finding out how the movie is. It's like confirming your opinion.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's interesting we put it. Hymns Are Beautiful is concerned that I'm going to become the next Stuckman, because apparently I'm already talking about being the lead in the next American Psycho remake. Well, look, I mean, I'd really do a good job. I'm just saying.
Well, hey, any Mutilator 2 news?
I can't talk about it.
Oh,
I can't talk about it.
NDA.
Is it
in
good
NDA,
or
I know.
bad?
Ironclad NDA. No, I've not heard anything recently. Not heard anything recently.
Yeah, I was going to Vegas for work like the weekend that premiered with Joe Bob's thing, and I just couldn't. I just barely missed it, but I wish I had been able to see it.
Dude,
at
I
a
was
screening.
in Vegas that weekend.
Really?
For a conference, yeah.
No way. That's funny.
Wow.
Yeah.
I heard it.
Yeah, because I barely missed the Joe Bob thing. Sorry.
Yep.
I heard from several people that went that you know it was really good. They enjoyed it, and you know, so I distribution is a tough thing, you know. Distribution's a tough thing
sure.
so you know what? Griffin would be a good Patrick Bateman. My money's on Griffin. Cast that man as Patrick Bateman. Christian Bale, more similarities than just owning a Toyota Tacoma. That's right. Christian Bale owns like an old truck, right? Yeah. He's staying grounded.
Tacoma too, man.
He's staying grounded. I like that. Malton was a weasel. Is he still alive?
I will tell you though, Malton had one thing going for him, which is that at a time when there wasn't a way before internet, you needed to buy his book every time it came out, like every 2 years, the big review book. You know, the thing was so big that you could not break the spine simply by opening it. Mm-hmm. But it was one of those few books that was out there that covered everything. So like if you saw a movie listing in the TV guide, you could like thumb that open and get more information. And that was like, I know it's the dark ages for most people, but that was those Leonard Martin movie guides were important, not because of his opinion, just because you could get information.
For many, many years, Jeremy wanted one of those every year for his birthday. So he's got a stack of those from like, for years and years and years of those things. I don't know why he wanted those every year, but I got him one like every year until they stopped making them. I don't think either Jeremy got tired of them or they stopped making them. I don't remember, but he's got a freaking stack of those things. Oh, goodness gracious. So let's talk about in this. I was sure that I was being trolled on Twitter or X or whatever. So Collider put out this post, and of course, Collider, if you're familiar with my channel, you know I love those Collider lists of best horror movies, scariest horror movies, etc. But they put out an article saying that the Friday the 13th remake was the best movie in that franchise. And I commented on it. I was like, this is, oh, Collider, you're crazy. And so many people were like, oh, I agree. And I thought for sure I was just being trolled. I don't have anything against the Friday the 13th remake. I mean, it's not bad, but the best of the series, like, not in my opinion, but apparently a lot of people agree that it is the best of the series.
It's the most digestible, like, mainstream version of Friday the 13th, so that's probably why.
It structurally, once we get past the beginning, which is my favorite part, but structurally, it is the most sound film in the series. Structurally, it's built around the characters in a much more interesting way. But no, I mean, listen, the first, second, and fourth films are always going to be what most people gravitate towards as favorites, depending on where you came into the series and where you came. I think that, again, it's kind of like we were talking about American Psycho. Like, how do you fight that beast with a modern production? You're never going to get in people's heads. If that film was not called Friday the 13th and was just released as its own slasher film, I think it would be an extremely popular film today. But the moment it's a Friday 13th, there's a problem. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But more importantly, like that real first opening shot of Mrs. Voorhees being killed on the beachhead of the lake, isn't that the cheapest looking motherfucking scene you've ever seen in your life? And it does not belong in that movie, which is a handsome production, but that scene looks worse than something Troma would film. Weird.
Yeah, that one, yeah. And I agree. Like, I don't think it's a bad movie. It's got a lot of things going for it. But and I agree too. If it was just a random slasher, I'd probably think maybe a little higher of it, honestly. But to me, it's just kind of I don't know. Again, like soulless, passionless, uninspired, maybe.
What are we
I
talking
think
about?
a lot of that's I think a lot of that's Marcus Nispel too, because even Marcus Nispel has said, like, I didn't want to make that movie. I was just there for the paycheck. Like, I didn't care. And I think
it
that comes
depends.
through.
I think it depends on too how old you are. I was born in
That's
the
true.
'80s, so if I was, I don't know, born in 2000 and I saw the new Friday the 13th, I'd be like, wow, this is compared to those other ones, those are boring.
Yeah, I was
So,
gonna say. I mean, that's 15 years ago. You
yeah.
know?
You're talking about
Um,
kids born in 2000. We're like 25 now, 24, 25.
And that
Like,
might
they
have
were
been a lot of
9
those.
all that,
Yeah, I
you
was
know.
going to bring that up, Swaggy. That might have been those people's very first Friday the 13th. So they base all the other movies on that one. So
because I
How many
think
people under 30 do you think that are walking around that have seen all these damn movies, though?
I mean,
Realistically.
that
Or could tell
that's a
them
good
apart.
yeah, that's a good question.
Hmm.
I mean, I think and again, I've mentioned this in the past. I think that video game did so much to keep the series relevant all those years that it was just dead. So that movie introduced, or that video game, like hearing kids talk about Tommy Jarvis, it's like, wow, like hearing
Weird.
kids in the game who, oh, that's part 4 Jason, that's part 6 Jason, that's like they know them apart, they know the characters because of the video game. Like, I thought that was awesome. They probably haven't seen, maybe they went from that to watching the movies, but I loved how that game kept the series relevant all those years.
Shuts
But
down
yeah,
at the end of the year, too.
shuts down. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I will
that
say.
that
Oh, go ahead.
Go
now I
ahead.
was going to say that is in my opinion, obviously 4 is, I feel like, universally seen as one of the best slashers.
Mhm.
But the Jason in the remake is so much more aggressive, so much more faster, so much
Mhm.
more intimidating compared to what took them a while to get there. But that
It's like
I
a
think
pepper.
that would kind of play a part in it too. Obviously, it's got beautiful women in it, and there's nudity, so that sells. But they've
Mhm.
kind of had
Mhm.
that all the way.
Mhm. Yeah. So
I really-
I go ahead. I was going to say, and I don't, if it's legitimately your favorite movie in the series, like, I mean, that's fine. I'm not going to say you're wrong or anything. I'm not going to hate you for it. But I just thought it was strange how, like, all of a sudden it seems like everybody's like I said on Twitter, I was shocked. I thought I was being trolled.
It's
There were a
gotten
lot of
higher on my lists, like in recent years. I mean, significantly higher. I used to think of it very middle of the pack. It's rewatchable on a level that, I mean, again, I think you do hit the wall on some of these sequels about how many times you watch it before you're kind of done.
Mhm.
It's actually a very rewatchable film. It moves really well. And my big thing though is, I will say to my dying breath, I love Jablonski's score. I the best thing they did is abandon the traditional score for that film because it wouldn't have worked. That score belongs in its time period, and really was only written for one movie. It was kind of like forced in place for all the sequels, and it worked, I guess. But that remake score is intense and dirty, and it feels vicious, and it
Mhm.
allows that movie to move and become kind of its own thing. Again, it'd probably be better if it was just titled something else and they wore a different mask. But as it is, I'll probably end up watching that. I haven't watched a Friday 13th besides the original in years at this point, and it stands a very good chance of being the next one I see again.
The group of
Part 7,
people,
dude.
or I guess like the degenerates or whatever that we get in the first half of 09 are way better than who we spend the rest of the movie with. Is the biggest problem to me, but it's easily overlookable. And Jason grew hella weed, so it was evidently protective of it.
I do remember the character Trent. He's the only one I remember.
Is that the one you like can't
Oh,
wait
that
to
was the
try?
asshole.
Yeah.
That dude is really good at that role, man.
That guy's
was.
face.
Which is why
He
he's
got
that,
laid.
which is why he plays that role in 2 different films and 2 different franchises.
It's like he hated everybody, but he somehow got to hang out with all these people. He hooked up with his hot chick.
He was the
He was
money.
rich. Like that's
Yeah,
life.
he was the
Yeah.
money.
rich.
He
Mhm.
owned the lake house. He had the boat.
Now you're getting it, Swaggy. You just said it there. Yeah,
I'm like,
you get it.
who actually liked him in this movie?
Everybody's
Well,
been to some
I-
rich
you-
dude's
you
house.
like
They
him
didn't
to-
like the party.
You
Oh,
like him in the
sure.
same way you like
Yeah.
Melissa in 7. It's like awful human being, kind of impossible to look away from.
Exactly.
Yeah, those are always like the best characters in slashers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Dude, you can't wait till they die.
I just wish I wish they'd betrayed expectations and killed off everyone we thought was the final girl, and he was the final girl, and he killed Jason. The audience
That
would have
would've-
been baffled.
That has to have been
that-
done now, right? Somebody's done that, surely. I can't think of anything, but
That would have definitely knocked it up a few notches in my book if they'd gone that route. We've got Rambo Raff in the chat. What's up, Rambo? The tunneling in the reboot is fine. Makes more sense than an 80-year-old woman throwing people around like nothing in the original Friday, somehow hanging grown people with 5 arrows on a door.
Yeah, Betsy Palmer was my age.
So yeah, I don't know. It's odd. I think it's, I don't know, maybe it's, I was gonna say too, like, you know, it's younger people maybe, but you know, time is good to just about every movie. I mean, look at Halloween 3, look at A New Beginning, look at the Black Christmas remake, look at Nightmare 2. These were all like black sheep movies for years.
You just have to wait until something so egregiously fucking horrible comes out, like the other Black Christmas remake, that you look at it and you go, you know what? Decent flick.
There you go.
I mean, do you think that same group would say the remake for Nightmare on Elm Street is the best one?
No one's saying that. On
God, I hope
Jack
not.
Earl Haley
God,
wouldn't
I
say
hope
that.
not.
no,
Or
man.
what? Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
I'm
see
sure-
some people saying that.
I'm
Hey, I
surprised
don't think-
Collider's. I'm surprised Collider's not already come out with that article that the Nightmare remake is the best of the series. But we'll see. They will, and we'll see what happens then.
That
Don't
might
hate on
be
that
sacred. That might be
Chainsaw
sacred
remake though,
ground.
Swaggy. That shit's fun.
That might be sacred ground, though. The original is just culturally that important. I don't know. That might be a high mountain to climb.
I mean, if you're talking about Texas Chainsaw, I think I've met people who say that the remake is the best one.
It's up there for sure. A lot of
Yeah,
people's lists.
I enjoy it a lot, man.
I prefer that
it's a lot
remake to the Friday the 13th one personally. But
Me
yeah, I
too,
thought that was a
That's
really
my
well done
favorite
film.
remakes.
Yeah.
It's my least favorite remake.
See, it does something completely different than the 70s film does, where everything else that was remade was just a bad version of what they did in the 80s. At least the
It was
Texas
just-
Chainsaw, like it built its own, like we had new characters, we changed like some backstory, like they built their own world.
No, it was
It
just
was
a corporate product. It wasn't original or good.
See,
It was
I
just
don't
a,
I
it
think
was a
that's
direct
just
to video slasher movie that they slapped
No.
the name of the best fucking horror movie ever made on. It's so infuriating.
It's nowhere near that. It's
Yeah, it is.
nowhere near that.
I
If
don't
you
know.
compare it
Doesn't
to compare it to Wrong Turn, dude, it's as good as Wrong Turn.
It's better than
but
Wrong
But
Turn.
it has
dude.
the Texas
better than Wrong
Chainsaw
Turn.
Massacre name.
It's better than Wrong
It's-
Turn.
No,
but
it's
don't you
not.
think like
It's
I mean
the
all these
only
films
reason.
What?
The only
Hang on,
reason
what?
anybody
Jack, hang on.
remembers it.
Hang
The
on,
only-
time
no,
out.
hold
Time out.
on, hold on. The only reason anybody remembers it is because of its name. It's a
No.
forgettable.
Tell me I mean, you're gonna have to tell me objectively why it's a bad movie, and I'll
I
defend.
don't think it's bad. I think it's very generic and bland, and it's got a name it doesn't deserve, and that's the only reason people still talk about it.
but none of the sequels deserve the title Texas
They
Chainsaw
don't.
Massacre. That's a whole different class of thing.
Mhm.
That's true, but I'm more bitter towards it because one, I was at that age where I was pissed off, and I was pissed off at like corporate like manipulation of stuff I liked, and that's how I felt about it. It's like Michael Bay hired his drinking buddy to make a movie, but he picked one of the best movies ever made that doesn't need a remake. Made a generic Hollywood product and slapped a name on it.
But I'm wondering where Marcus Nispel was a bad choice, though.
I think visually he's a great filmmaker.
That's what I'm saying. I don't see where Marcus Nispel was a bad choice.
I
I'm
think he
not
was perfect
talking
for
about
that one.
either. I'm just saying like how he got the job rubs me the wrong way.
Oh,
He was a
nepotism in Hollywood? Never. Never.
Well, I mean, Bay certainly did that with some of the other remakes he did. There's no question about that, including the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. I think the Chainsaw remake was really the only inspired one that he did, honestly. But you know, and listen, there is one of the sequels that deserves a Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh Jesus, here we go.
And it's called The Next Generation.
Hell yeah, brother.
Can we all just agree to hate Leatherface? Like that seems easy, right?
Yeah, that sucks. Are you talking about
Right.
you're talking
I
about
remember nothing
2018 or
about it at
part
this
3
point.
though?
I heard
No,
there's
not part
actually
three. I'm talking about the Stephen Dorff one.
I actually heard there's a really good cut of that movie out there. That like the director's cut of that movie is really good, and the producer or whoever, they really screwed it up.
Of Next Gen?
Yeah, they put the movie in.
No.
And it's just 74. It's
No,
Chainsaw Massacre.
the Leatherface, the Julian Maury
Oh.
and Alexander Bustillo.
Gotcha.
Leatherface.
Yeah.
The straight to direct TV joint.
Yeah.
That went straight to DirecTV. You're right.
But I swear it was
I
like a
remember
Devil's
nothing.
Reject prequel, right? It had to be written as that.
I don't. I was very confused.
By the same
Yeah.
rate, like I gotta say, like at least they tried to do something that wasn't just a bunch of kids finding the family and getting slaughtered. I give them credit for that. It's just not a good film.
Mhm.
Just they didn't pick a good thing to
recommendable
do
or memorable about it.
It's mainly the
I-
ending. The ending is freaking horrible. Like
I really would love to see that, their cut of the movie. Like it's apparently really good from what I've been told. So I don't know. So yeah,
well, aren't they talking about the Texas Chainsaw in the Suburbs?
That's a new one, yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I was gonna bring that up because Nico had mentioned he's ready for, here it is. I wish Chainsaw and Alien franchises would give it a long rest. Well, we've got Alien Romulus coming out, I think this year, which is the Fede Alvarez Alien film, and they're talking about a new Chainsaw that's going to take place in the Burbs, which kind of sounds like Toby Hooper and Kim Hinkle's original idea for the sequel, was that it would be like a community of Sawyers, not just a family, but a whole community.
Oh, see, I thought it was like they were infiltrating a nice neighborhood.
That could
Kinda how
be
I
it.
pictured it, too.
I mean, that could be it.
This is
I don't
the rest
know.
of my life, isn't it? This is like just my rest of my life is just hating new versions of things that were once cool and not getting new shit popular.
You don't
That's
have
called
any.
getting old.
You don't have
What do you
any
mean
faith.
getting? I just am old.
You don't have any faith in Fede Alvarez's Alien Romulus?
I want to have faith, but it's like my most beloved franchise in many ways, and it's disappointed me the most in almost every way. The high points are really high, but how many times do you want to go and not have the experience that you're looking for? I mean, I see a lot of films that are modern and new and not good, but I always have a little bit more respect for something where they swing for the fence on their own thing. Just like Recapturing Glory. When's the last time it's really worked for any of you guys? Like, I mean, really worked. Like, I don't mean like, oh, it's the best of the shitty ones. Like, when's the last time like a sequel or a remake really just nailed it for you? Again, you're probably gonna have to go back 10, 15 years at least.
I mean,
Mhm.
I would almost say, and everybody might not agree, but the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022 for me actually
like it.
kind of.
I hate that fucking movie. So
Yeah, I know I like it for different reasons. Like it's not. That's a movie that you could say. I mean, I like it, but that's a movie you could say they took a generic.
yeah, that's the
slasher.
corporate
We're gonna
film.
give this guy. We're just gonna give this guy a chainsaw and then call it Texas Chainsaw.
Well, no, because they're kind of poking fun at new trends and stuff. It
No,
wasn't
I
just
agree with
trends.
that. I agree with that. But like, who is this woman? Who is this goddamn town? It says he's lived with her his whole life. Is that Leatherface or is that just some random?
That's
God.
not Leatherface as we know it. It's a completely different character.
Well,
Nothing
it
makes any
was
sense. Shit
it
happens
was
just
from
when
the
scenes
it
can
was from
happen.
the first one. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to take off from the first one. Where
Yeah,
it's like after Sally gets away, his family's dead. He goes wandering off. He wanders into this town. She takes him in off the books, and you go
So
from there.
that guy wanders into an orphanage and gets taken in to be what, a caretaker? I mean, I'm
No,
sorry.
he came in
it doesn't work.
as a like he was being taken care
Probably
of. By her.
Leatherface was a grown man when he got that. When like that movie
Absolutely.
happened, that was a
Yeah, but he
home
had the
for
mind
young
of a
boys.
child.
It
Yeah,
doesn't.
but like it was for young boys. It wasn't a mental hospital.
But you have to
It
believe
was
there was
That's out in
no
the
police.
boonies.
There
They
was
do
no.
whatever the fuck they want, bro.
I see. I don't know. You
They'll
see,
take
See, now we're just like making up stuff to get
exactly.
there.
You're justifying like all the
Well,
fucking.
no,
loose
you just
plot.
got to take a leap of faith for the story. It's not. I'm not reaching. It's just.
But why would you?
Mhm.
Wait.
took
Why
them
would you
in.
have to though? Why would you have to?
That's
Why
not
can't we
that
just
big
have
of a
something that's
stretch.
well written? Why can't we just do that instead?
Oh,
mean,
I think it was. I think it was a cool direction. I think it's good writing that he just wandered off. They don't explain it.
No,
You
then-
just assume he wandered off and they took him in. Like that's all it is.
Again,
I really enjoyed the Netflix Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I did too.
I
I thought it was
So
good.
did I. Yeah.
And I
I
get the
loved-
joke. It's not a woke movie. They're making fun of the woke. And that's why most people hate
that's
it.
not.
And listen,
nope. That's
it's-
not right.
Yeah,
You
it
see,
is.
It's
Yeah,
got my
that's-
girl in
I
it.
will- I will-
You
I
can
will-
disagree on that, and you can turn it like any way you want to. You can say, "Oh well, it's really leaning into it because they took the Confederate flag down." It doesn't stop the fact that like we get an entire scene where he walks on the bus, and we get the comedic scene of them pulling out their fucking cell phones to poke fun at the fact that that's all that people do these days.
Mhm.
That's in your face. That's not even subtle.
No, but who are the sympathetic characters supposed to be in the film? Who are you
Girl
supposed
that's
to
scared of
Leatherface.
guns. The girl that's scared of guns that picks up a
Who
gun at
lives?
the end and wins. So that's
Correct,
Yeah,
but what happens to her sister? What is her ultimate fate?
yeah.
Is screaming
But
in
her
the back
her sister sucked though, and so she died.
You see, so you're imprinting what you want to see in this movie. You really are, but that's
No,
okay.
it's very on the nose.
Then explain everything else then. Like everybody else that we slaughtered in that town who was also that way. You have one survivor at the end of this. All of those people died with the exception of one.
Mm-hmm.
The girl who was scared of guns and picked up a gun. That was the whole point of the
Okay,
movie.
let's end this. Dream Emulator. Thumbs
Oh,
up,
shit.
thumbs up, or thumbs down for the Netflix Texas Chainsaw.
Oh, I
Massacre.
love it. I mean,
Okay. End of
you know,
discussion.
it's not perfect, but I really, really like it.
End of discussion. There we go. Let's see what's up with the chat here. Dare I go to the chat? Looks like Matt Rambo Raff was not a fan of the Netflix Chainsaw.
Beginning's dope.
What's up, Pumpkin J? How you doing, sir? Nico says, I think the William Castle remakes really worked on their own terms.
Haunted Hill is amazing.
What was the other one? 13 Ghosts?
Ghost
Mhm.
Ship and 13 Ghosts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have a Dark Castle.
Dark Castle.
was
Yeah.
solid.
I really liked Ghost Ship.
Mm-hmm.
There
They're
was
all
a
fun.
Dark
They're like
Castle
those
maybe-
perfect 2000s like capsules.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
There was
I really
something
liked
that they released that I was shocked about, like recently. Let me see.
Someone in the chat pointed out the Evil Dead remake.
The Orphan
I agree
first
with
kill.
Mm,
All right.
that's a good point. I like that. Yeah, the 2013 one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. We've had quite a lively discussion tonight, all over the place. A lot of toxicity. I'm really disappointed in you, Swaggy, bringing in all that toxicity. I don't know. I
Does
don't know what got
anybody
into you.
support the Child's Play remake?
Hell
I
no.
thought it was okay. I'd rather see more from that world than more of
The television shit? Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
Oh my
really cool when
God.
they were watching Texas Chainsaw 2. I popped for that.
I love.
Yeah, but it was all out of order and shit.
Yeah. Well, maybe they were rewinding in between cuts.
They had that boogeyman tape that just had clips.
The
of them.
fucking watermelon patch kill is awesome.
Yeah, it has good kills. I just hate it for the same reason I hate most remakes. It's just they could have called it something else, and I would have liked it probably.
Got Mark Hamill.
So I think we can all agree that they should cast. I think they should cast Swaggy as Patrick Bateman in this. I mean, that shirt is really handsome on you, Swaggy. So I think you should be. I think you'd be a good Patrick.
Swaggy said, "Don't call me, men. Please don't call me handsome."
I said his shirt was handsome. I said his shirt was handsome. Listen, anything else on y'all's minds you want to talk about? So
We didn't talk about Chris Stuckman enough, did we?
I think
we can
talked
go
about
back
it
if you want.
No, please, God, no.
We can go back.
Circle back around.
Yeah, circle back around.
No. Anything else you guys want to discuss tonight? Any other topics?
I want to ask y'all a question about finding movies.
Okay.
All right, so this can go to anybody on the panel, whatever.
Okay.
So whenever you go on your screen, your channel, whether it's Tubi or Paramount Plus or Netflix, whatever, do you have any idea of what you want to watch, or do you just turn it on and just start flipping through it?
Berries.
Yes.
Oh.
And then do
Yeah,
you
both.
find yourself spending more time flipping through it than actually watching the movie?
Oh, 100%.
I actively combat that because it became a problem, and I got so fucking sick of it. And I
Me
was just
too.
like, dude, if I flip through like 10 titles,
Yeah.
I have got to stop and like just pick something or like do something else. I can't just sit here and flip through channels because I'm really bad about that, and I have to like check it.
Yeah, me too. And I have a watch list like on all my streaming platforms I watch. It's like 50 movies. So I'll just go through that, and then I'm like, oh, there's nothing here. I'll see what else. Maybe I missed something, and then I'll just go and off. So it's like my watch list doesn't even have a point.
Yeah, I don't even know why I add it to it because that is, you go right past it. Oh, I want to watch that eventually.
Right.
Well, see, it's a good tool because that's what if I find myself like thumbing through thumbnails too long, I go directly to on Tubi the watch later list and just push play. Like,
right.
I gotta force myself to do it just to end the like monotony.
I fall in the YouTube rabbit hole more than often on anything when I'm watching stuff. I mean, I watch fucking more YouTube than I do anything.
Oh yeah.
I think you have to. For me, it's like I'll go to Tubi when I want to find. I go to Tubi with two missions, and I separate them. First mission is to find movies to add to the list to watch later, because I can't scroll and then stop and watch something. I can't do that. I've got to go on like a reconnaissance mission. And then once I find the stuff I want, I'll come back and I'll know exactly, okay, I want to watch this now. But if I get back in the scrolling thing, all I'll do is scroll. That's what I used to do on Netflix all the time. I just scroll and scroll and scroll. And then I'd be like, oh, I'm bored. And then I'd stop, I wouldn't even watch anything. Or I'll just watch The Office again for the 9 millionth time,
Yeah, that's the biggest defeat is when you like spend an hour
go back to
through
something.
stuff and then you're just like, I just give up.
Yeah.
There's something comforting about those shows though, and like that's become a thing in the last like 10 years or so. Like a comfort show that's just constantly on in your home.
Well, that's why I miss live TV. I will always preach this. I miss appointment TV so bad. Live TV was like the peak, and like, man, I miss it so much. I miss just
live TV with
home
DVR,
and like all you can do is just turn it on, and if you find something cool, if not, pick a tape. But like, I miss it so much.
Yeah. So that for me now is Unsolved Mysteries. I'll just sit down and turn on Unsolved Mysteries. And
on Pluto.
No, I've actually got it on my, like, there's some sort of Samsung TV option on my TV, and they play Unsolved Mysteries. So I can just sit down and turn on Unsolved Mysteries and just sit and watch that. Or like if I'm doing something down here, I'll just turn it on. It's just a random episode, and so that's kind of like my comfort thing now is Unsolved Mysteries. It's gone from The Office to Unsolved Mysteries.
You ever see any of those that are wrong?
All of them.
No,
Unsolved Mysteries that are
saw-
wrong.
yeah, I watched the Green River Killer one, and they were just pointing the finger at the completely wrong dude.
Yeah, I remember
really
that
bad for that guy now.
well, that dude, I remember that dude because that dude, like his brother, was the guy who narked on him, and like he had like a weird hidden room in his garage with like a mannequin in there and all kinds of weird stuff.
Well, maybe they still needed to keep an eye on him, but
they needed to keep an eye on him. Yes. So, yeah. Anything else on your all's minds? Let's see. Comfort shows for Nico, Columbo, and Lee Marvin and M Squad.
M Squad is amazing.
Nice. Dave just recently watched Hell on Earth for the first time. Nice.
Sorry, Dave.
Oh, I love it. I love
Hellraiser.
Hellraiser.
One of my
What are
favorites.
y'all's comfort shows? If you can pull one out of your
The Office was one.
I have King of the Hill on like all the time.
King of the Hill gets in rotation. I have like a rotation,
Yeah, me too.
like for when I get sick
That's
of it. and
my
you just move
go-to.
like the next-
Yeah.
King of the Hill is that's
Mine's
a-
Community and Buffy the Vampire Slayer, two that I watch.
I've gone through
Sometimes
Buffy
once a
couple-
year I'll go through both of them.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer got me through some hard times in my early 20s. So God bless Buffy.
Have you seen Community?
Mm-mm.
If you
It's
like
pretty
The
funny.
Office, that NBC, that was the best sitcom ever in my opinion. But like of that NBC era, it's probably one of the best of those too.
Yeah, that's good. It went on Yahoo. Like it's last
Last
season.
season.
Anybody else got any go-to shows? Any comfort shows? Swag,
Modern
you got a
Family.
comfort show?
Modern Family.
I hate to admit this, but I have never seen a single episode of Buffy.
Oh,
Me either.
Yeah, me
And you
neither.
guys talk about it like it's like one of the greatest shows ever, and I've
watch
never
it.
seen Breaking
It
Bad
was.
either.
How old are
but-
you, Swaggy?
I'm 41.
Get on that.
you're
Breaking
the
Bad.
you're the age where Buffy will hit you so hard in the like nostalgia bone. It's like a high school in the late 90s time capsule.
Yeah, I was
Especially
in
the-
high
like the
school in
first
the
three
late 90s.
seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, those first 3 seasons are like gold.
let's see. Sean says, what do you think about Top Dollar being able to use supernatural abilities in the Crow remake? Is he gonna have supernatural abilities in the Crow remake? From what I understand, this Crow remake is not going to be anything like the Brandon Lee Crow at all. It's a totally different vibe, totally different, just totally different. So it's a complete reboot. So,
In the heat of the night. Sorry.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to it, but I just don't know what to expect from it.
Well, that franchise has a great track record too, huh?
Hey, I don't care what you say. I really like the Crow City of Angels.
So do I. So do
I
I.
really like
but
that.
after that, it gets real rough, real fast. Right?
After that,
Wicked
it
Prayer?
goes way downhill.
Yeah, I was gonna say they did a Crow show last night, and I ended up watching Wicked Prayer finally.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Ooh, what'd that come out as?
I
Don't
didn't
do
hate
that.
it.
ooh,
didn't hate it.
gosh.
It's got enough there with like David Boreanaz and Edward Furlong and Dennis Hopper. Like
Dennis
that,
Hopper.
I like that. But
Dennis
it's not
Hopper.
a good movie, no.
in
How
the
did they get
Crow.
all them to do? How did they get all those people to do that movie? Did he witness all of them kill a guy like when they were driving drunk or something? Like
Dennis
They
Dennis
got Edward
Hopper.
Furlong and everybody else fell into place.
that's what it was. Eddie
We have
Furlong's
this
doing it.
actor who wants to be a part of it.
I'll do it for scale.
toward the end of his life, if you would meet Dennis Hopper's fee, he'd be in anything you wanted. So
That's pretty cool.
I
And
remember
that was an
interview.
outstanding role by him. I'm surprised I never heard of it.
I remember an interview with him where somebody asked him, like, why are you doing like all of these kind of, not so great. He was like, hey, my grandkids need shoes.
Well,
Fair enough.
it's a miracle to get a movie made, right? I mean,
Mhm.
with any kind of real money behind it. It's a miracle to get money. So there's like a lot of actors there that are no longer the hot shiny thing who were once really popular, but don't really have an easy place in Hollywood or big productions.
Mhm.
And they get handed these roles later in life where they're still making okay money. What are they supposed to do? Not do it?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's like who's writing a Dennis Hopper film in
Yeah.
1999 even, you know,
Yeah.
or 2005. Reality is they were taking the best of what they were offered, and that was not always the pick of the litter. And you know what? As long as they put in the effort and they're the best thing about the shitty movie, good on them.
Yeah.
Because hey, do we all go to work every day? Are we all happy about it? So why would we hold them in a higher standard?
I
Mhm.
agree.
Mhm.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're
Like, just go
maybe
look at Jeff. Sorry, go ahead.
they're putting money away for their kids or their grandkids, or they got to pay union dues, or all that stuff. So I mean, like, I remember hearing a story about Bronson later in his career. He would demand, like, you got to hire this guy, this older actor, to be in the movie because he's got SAG dues, and he's so you got to, if you want me, you got to have this group of guys.
So
So
SAG dues equal healthcare.
exactly.
Mm.
You don't go years without working. It's a bad idea. Like, it could be a death sentence in America.
Yeah.
A lot of my favorite actors are character actors, and it's because they have that. A lot of them, anyway, have that thing where it's like no matter what movie they're in, like Jeffrey Combs. Go watch any movie with Jeffrey Combs in a bit part. He puts so much into it. You can just
Mhm.
tell.
Still know what you did last summer?
He steals.
Best part of the whole
steals
movie.
every scene he's in, and it's just like that's the kind of like acting that I respect. Where it's just like,
Well,
he'll take
I'm a
what you
huge-
give him and try to do something with it.
I'm a huge
Mhm.
Kim Coates fan. Huge. Not for Sons of Anarchy, because I've actually only ever seen bits of that. But I love the man as an actor. He's just intense. He's weird, and he embraces who he is. But there was a period where he was getting offered all the bit parts in all these huge films, and he is the best thing about Pearl Harbor, Waterworld, and Battlefield Earth. Think about that for a second.
He was really good in Waterworld. I remember him in Waterworld.
He's amazing in all three of those movies, and they're shit films.
He's also got a really memorable role in The Last Boy Scout with Bruce
Yes.
Willis.
Yeah, very early in the career. Yeah.
I remember him
very.
from Carpool. Tom Arnold comedy.
Oh man,
I missed that
Seriously,
one somehow.
I loved that movie.
If you can find the 1994 Canadian supernatural horror film, The Club, he gets to just let completely fucking loose for like half the movie. It's just a masterclass in how to go over the top but still be awesome.
Did you like Officer Down, Lauren?
I don't love that movie. I wanted to love it.
I like
didn't let him do much.
Exactly. He's good in
Yeah.
it. Like, he's never bad in anything, but it's not a great film.
It was worth the $1 I paid for it at Dollar Tree.
I think I paid $5 for the Blu-ray when it first came out.
Did y'all get the slipcover? That slipcover.
I got the slip on man, buddy. I got the
Yeah,
slip on.
that's long dead and in pieces.
Oh no.
Yeah, Lauren sacrificed it to the slipcover gods.
Somebody who's doing like well, I mean, he's always been a great character actor, but he's kind of slipped into that mode where he's just like, if you'll meet my fee, I'll do whatever. But nails everything is Lance Henriksen.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
You don't have to leave that. Eric Roberts won't even leave the house to do your movie. They'll just film it all there.
Well, if you pay him enough, he'll leave the house, but no one's paying him enough.
Just gonna film. I remember I knew a director one time, and he was making a movie, and he wanted Julie Strain to be in it. And Julie was like, "Well, I'll just film everything here in my house." It's a low budget thing. So it's so funny because when you watch that movie, you can tell like it's night and day. The stuff with Julie Strain in it was shot by like her husband in their house.
Like the lighting is gonna be off. Like everything's gonna be like
Camera quality's different.
Audio,
But hey, she's in the movie though. That's all
he got Julie Strain in his movie, and that moved a few units. And of course, she got naked, so that moved.
I was gonna say, did she do topless? That's
Of course.
yeah.
And she was top bill.
I'm probably she was up there. She was up there.
And put it in his movie is what happened.
She was up there. So
I love the spirit of exploitation that shit can happen though. Like, we make fun of it, but you know what? There's people out there scrapping. hey, these people flip fries through the weekend and make a movie on a weekend. I'm for it.
Mhm.
I might not love their movies, but I'm all for them. Like, get out there, because eventually one of them is going to come up with a great fucking idea and change cinema. Because it's not going to happen from like the Ivory Towers. It's going to
No.
happen from one of
Hell
these
no,
guys
yeah.
working
No.
with nothing. And that's what Toby Hooper did with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, we think of like people like Sean Cunningham and John Carpenter, but they all started with nothing.
Yeah.
And just like bare bones concepts, not high concept, bare bones concepts, and they just made the best possible version of what they could for the money they had, and they changed all of our lives. That's amazing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not going to happen with an American Psycho remake. I promise you.
No. No.
I
it's
feel
not
like
gonna
everything is built to kind of like suppress that now, though, too. Because there's so much
there's
shit.
no-
It's like, yeah, those guys can do that, but then there's also guys who will just pump out whatever and it'll get on Tubi and flood the market and hide.
I don't think you're gonna see a big studio movie that's gonna do it. I mean, a big studio releases what 8-10 movies a year, so they want the sure thing, and they don't want a movie that costs 50 million. They want a movie that costs 200 million that's going to get them back $1 billion. So they want safe, they want cookie cutter, you know what I mean? So
That's why that's why
I was going to
we do get something amazing that's lower budgeted. We need to support the fuck out of it and get the word out on it.
I think there's a reason why, this to take it back to Friday the 13th. I think there's a reason why, this lawsuit's been over for how long, and there's no talk of a new Friday the 13th movie, because Friday the 13th movie is going to cost how much to make, and how much is it going to return? I mean, you think Warner Brothers and Paramount are like, yeah, let's drop 40 million in this and maybe it'll bring back 80. Now we don't have room on our schedule for that. We want Mission Impossible. We want Oppenheimer. We want Barbie. You know what I mean? So we may never see another Friday the 13th movie in theaters.
I'd be
Get ready for a Barbie every year for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. So that's probably the reason why. I mean, you would think as soon as that lawsuit got over, boom, Friday the 13th, new Friday the 13th coming out. It's not happening.
No,
Are we
it's
getting a
an
miniseries?
Yeah,
The series is
with the show.
the series is still going forward. Yeah.
But I thought that was a way to settle that lawsuit, was the fact it was going to be a series.
Well, the television rights were a whole separate issue.
Gotcha.
But it's an economy of scale, right? Like, it's exactly what you're saying, because like, to run these massive corporations that are now distributors, really, making movies isn't their business. They don't really care what they put on a screen, but they got to fill 4,000 screens for multiple shows, and they have one weekend to get it right before the mass culture moves on to the next thing, because there's so many options for entertainment. That model doesn't really allow for that small independent film to come out. It doesn't allow for a Blair Witch, let alone a Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah,
And that
think
should
about
be
all
very
the
disturbing.
movies. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. That was the end of the sentence. It's fine.
I was just gonna say, think of how many movies used to come out back in the day, like compared to now. It's easy to forget, but it's like there's like 10 movies in the theater right now. And it's like back in the day, it felt like a new movie would come out like every week, and it's like now we just have to adjust to the fact that a lot of those movies are ending up on streaming. Like, you're not gonna get like the bench warmer comedies and stuff in theaters anymore. They're gonna be on streaming. Probably not gonna get Friday the 13th. Streaming is just gonna not only replace like direct to video, but it's also replaced that like second string theatrical too a little bit, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean,
that's what it's like.
We'll get one, but it'll probably be like straight to Paramount Plus, which I think is that's not a problem for me. I think people will be disappointed that it's not a big theatrical thing, but I mean, where's even that? Why isn't that happening or been announced? I mean, it's just, I don't know.
It's because it's not. It can't be an international play. The rules are different in America for ownership of the rights as they are in the rest of the world. So
That's right, because Cunningham can go anywhere else and make a Friday the 13th movie.
absolutely.
Mhm.
So
Well, and I think Paramount owns the domestic rights and Warner Brothers owns the international. So I mean, you have two different hands in the pot already. Then you
If
got to
we-
pay Cunningham.
if we're talking about a remake, yes. If we're talking about a proper sequel, but then a proper sequel to what, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's a different issue. Warner's owns it could make a sequel to the remake, but they have problems with the adult Jason character killing.
Mhm.
Not completely, but mostly. It's a mess, and it's to be honest with you, to untangle the mess, you're just not going to make enough money on the other side. That's what the economy of scale problem is.
Mhm.
That said, you know what? In enough time, someone will figure this shit out because we'll get something. But to be honest with you, I'm fine. I have that franchise has 2 films I don't like in it. The rest I really do like. Some of them are seminal to my youth. It's done its work. I'm cool with it. If we never get another one, hell, it's still on the good side of the ledger, which I can't say about practically all the other big franchises in the genre. So I'm good with it. Let it lie. I'm fine.
Yeah, I felt that way about all those old franchises for a long time. It's just like I could care less if they never make another Halloween, another Nightmare, another Friday, another Candyman.
Please don't.
Like,
Mhm.
we got those movies. We're not going to get them again. So I'm just like content.
100%.
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan. Yeah, Christopher Nolan said he wants to do a horror movie. Let's have. How about a Friday the 13th, Chris? Let's do it, man.
He could get it to happen.
With Cillian Murphy as Jason. I want Cillian Murphy as Jason. Let's do it. So,
All I can imagine is that it's going to be a Friday the 13th with worse sound. What did the character say? Does it matter?
there you go. Let's see here. Let's call it a night. We've been all over the place tonight. We've discussed a lot of topics. We covered a lot of bases. So I Dream Emulator Matt, can you wrap up this whole stream? Can you really make it clear? Put a bow on this stream for us tonight.
No, I can't.
Okay,
I don't think
fair
I can. To
Fair
be
enough.
honest.
Fair enough.
It's been a roller coaster of emotion and.
Are you okay?
Am I okay? I've never been better.
Good. I'm glad.
It's a little depressing, actually.
Yeah, a little bit.
I think there should be at least a few moments in your life that have this topped.
I can think of a handful.
Well, let's see. Swaggy, where can we find you on social media, sir?
I am just on Instagram under John's Cool World.
And look, you won an award for your photography. You're an award-winning photographer now.
Yes, I had some success. Yeah,
That's
my
awesome.
first
Congratulations.
competition that I actually made it into. But yeah, I was kind of happy about that one. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, congratulations, man. Congratulations. Dream Emulator, where can we find you on social media?
Dream Emulator HVSC at YouTube and Instagram, and now on Twitch, where I stream twice a week, Tuesdays and
There you go.
Wednesdays.
Oh, okay. You got a schedule and everything.
I better, otherwise I won't do it.
All right, cool. Yeah, like I was saying in the beginning, you're on the ball here. You're on the
Trying.
ball. There you go. Lauren, where can we find you?
Visited by Voices 1, which actually today launched as a full-fledged network featuring different creators,
Nice.
bringing a variety of shows and opinions to one place. You don't have to search for a million different channels. That's the idea, is that we're going to bring the community home. And we started tonight with Colleen Wagland, who you may not know, or you may remember her as the Geisha of Gore from Cinema Night Fight. Anyway, she headed off our launch tonight with her first episode, in which she talks about Takashi Miike's audition. So head on over there, subscribe to the channel. It's not about me anymore. That's the whole concept. I'm still providing content, but I'm going to do long form autopsy videos and some weird shit. But other people are going to come in and get their voices heard because I think that's the direction we need. During COVID, everyone kind of like was launching everything in the world. It's cooled down a lot since then. So let's give a centralized place. That was the idea. Cool. Also, Amazon.com, buy a book.
Those autopsy videos you do are really, really good. You go really in depth.
So I am at this point a quarter of the way through Della Morte del More, doing the autopsy, and it's already a 35-minute video. So I'm going to have to edit it down at the end because this thing's going to end up to be longer than the movie itself.
Well,
I think Swaggy needs a segment on your channel.
He absolutely should pitch a show to me. I am all down for that.
There you go.
Listen, you start with almost 1,000 subs, eyes on. It takes all the pressure of running a channel away from you, which Piz can tell you is not always the most fun thing in the world. Come on in. Come on, Swag. Let's do it.
Let's do it, Swag.
Swag.
He's got to abbreviate his name like we're friends.
Chris, where can we find you on social media?
Slasher Home Video on YouTube, and my store is retrocryptco.com. I sell like shirts and collectibles and stuff, so check that out. And that's it.
There you go. Hold on, I'm gonna post a chat. I'm gonna post a link in the chat to your
the Retro Crypt.
Thank you, sir.
Retro Crypt Co. Go check him out. I've purchased some of his wares, and they are very high quality.
I have many wares.
Many wares, yes, and you can wear many of his wares too. So
that's true.
Keep that in mind.
Where do you get them?
Zing.
He's practically a werewolf.
And there you go.
Hey,
we can keep going.
It's wearing on me now, guys. Stop.
And Chris, did you mention your channel too?
Yeah, Slasher Home Video.
Okay.
On YouTube.
There you go. Jonathan, where can we find you?
These days, the only place you can find me is over on Region Free Season 3 with the bald gentleman over there.
So,
pointed up and over Chris. Lob it in. Oh, fuck this.
Hold on.
I thought I'm going to be hitting
There
the
you
head.
go.
There you go. This guy.
There you go.
On. Okay.
All right, cool. All right. Well, let me do some shout outs here before we call tonight. Let's see who's still with us here. We got Sean in the chat with us tonight. We got Jess still with us in the chat tonight.
Jesty.
Bog Zombie. Got Nico. Nico got beat up in this stream. We got Dave in the chat. We got Jay Killjoy. We got Glib Glob, aka the world's biggest Chris Stuckman fan. We've got Andy in the chat. Not Morgan Freeman is here. Smudge. Reggie.
All not Morgan Freeman.
That's technically yes. Entertainment Wizard. Dead Zone 2023 Ghost. Scratch Butterno. Anthony Oliver. Barney likes beer. Griffin was with us tonight. Yeah, had quite a lively chat. Had a lot of fun, and want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank everybody on the panel. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight and shooting the bull. Thank you for being patrons. I appreciate the support. Be sure to mark your calendars for March 4th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My next Bloodstream is with Glenn Morgan, the director of the first Black Christmas remake, as well as Willard. He was the showrunner for Millennium, producer for the X-Files, produced the Final Destination. He's tons of stuff. We're going to have a great conversation on the 4th of March. Got a video with Jeremy coming out very soon. Got an huge unboxing video coming out very soon. So keep your eyes peeled for all that good fun stuff. Where's my outro? There's my outro. All right. You guys have a great rest of your night. Thank you again for tuning in. Take care. Be well. We'll see you again soon. Peace.